Hope y'all doing good. Back with a little bit more news, you know what I'm saying? In that crypto world, that digital asset world, you know what I'm saying? That blockchain world. Let y'all know what's going on, man, you know? Because there be so much going on, don't think you can keep track of all of it. It's a must that you get your information from different avenues, you know what I'm saying? Different respective perspectives, you know what I'm saying? That who you trust to know what they talking about, you know what I mean? And if you don't trust what they talking about, don't be listening to them. Do your own research. But I tell you what, it's a lot going on within this blockchain and digital nation world. You know what I mean? So don't overwhelm yourself. Use the resources that's at hand to be able to listen to those who bring you the good information to know what they're talking about. But anyway, 1/3 of investors across the U.S. and Europe own cryptocurrency. This is good news, you know what I mean? So a lot of people always say, "What about this and what about that and what about this?" But 1/3 is like that's like 33%, 33.3% or something like that. I know it's 33%. Yeah, it's like 33%, man. Yeah, 33. Either less, that's 33% of the people of investors from the U.S. to Europe own cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying? Which is that's a good thing. Fidelity Digital Assets has published the results of survey conducted on institutional investors across the United States and Europe, indicating solid growth and a better perspective of their value. Yeah, I lost my spot. Value. The survey. How you say that word? I'm gonna say it exact. Corroborates. That's an interesting word. I thought that's how you say it, but I just wasn't sure. I had to double check. Corroborates. That's a word that might should be revamped and recreated. That's clearly another word you could use that was better than that. But anyway, Fidelity Digital Assets has published the results of a survey that was conducted between November 2019 and March 2020, which speaks positively. Yeah, positively. I told y'all it's positive when you see numbers like that about the adoption of Bitcoin by institutional investors. 1/3 of institutional investors in the U.S. and Europe hold Bitcoin. So don't go listening to the lies when they coming out telling you that Bitcoin is not this and cryptocurrency is not this and digital assets is not this, because don't listen to their mouth. Watch the moves that they make, because they making moves behind the scene so that they can be the ones in the forefront of the situation. But if you actually doing your due diligence and research is taking out a time of your day and making your own play, you can be ahead of that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because as it take off, you will be at the forefront of it. You will be the early adopter, and the early adopter is the one who you know makes the most. I had my computer running. I didn't realize my computer was running, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a little hot. I don't know why it's hot. But so yeah, so you got 1/3 of the institutions, investors in the U.S. and Europe holding Bitcoin and other digital assets. You know what I'm saying? And other derivative products. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, conducted by the Green Winch, I believe that's how you say it, association. The results show investors in Europe having more confidence in Bitcoin than their United States counterparts, because the United States plays a power role in the ego trip to believe that nothing is above, nothing is better, and it will always be at the head of things. But if it don't make the be, it's like being a fighter or athlete of some sort and never going to practice to maximize your potential. Then your potentials become limited. You see what I'm saying? Because or you not working out. So now you not working out and you eating hamburgers all day. You get what I'm saying? So now you becoming all sloppy, and you get what I'm saying. That's what it is over there, over here. But the United States counterpart, 45% of Europeans investors have invested in the asset class, while that number is 27% for the U.S. Over 25% have invested in Bitcoin, while 11% has invested in Ethereum. And I believe Ethereum is another place to, take a look at. You might like what you see, you might like what you hear, because Ethereum has actually built a whole ecosystem within the digital assets and blockchain world and crypto world. It's doing its thing at the end of the day. The president of Fidelity Digital Assets, Tom Jesso, I don't know how you say his name, referred to the negative interest that have been established in European countries as a potential reason for the support. So yeah, this little part right here, he was talking about how it's negative rates all over the country, all over the world, in many countries, whatever the case may be. He said right here, interest rates in many countries. Now you got negative interest rates in many countries, excuse me. So Bitcoin may look more attractive because there are other assets that aren't paying returns. These results confirm a trend we are seeing in the market towards greater interest in and acceptance of digital assets as a new investable asset class. Yeah. So once again, when you see that there's doubt, I would advise you to go about I'm gonna use that. Hold on. I would advise you to do your due diligence, you know what I'm saying, and so that you can understand what's going on, so that you could be in the forefront of the situation and you could be able to capitalize on the situation, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, a positive outlook for cryptocurrency. While not all surveys may have accurate, yeah, that's irrelevant. Nearly 80% of these investors find something appealing. 80% find something appealing. This was described in the reports as follows. 36% said they liked that it was uncorrelated to other asset classes. 34% said it was innovative technology, and 33% said it had a high potential upside, which is all that's true. European investors are also appreciated the fact that it was free from government intervention, while only 10% of U.S. investors felt that way, because in the USA, they feel like if the government don't do this and the government don't okay that, and big brother, big daddy don't say you allowed to think, then you really shouldn't be thinking, you know what I'm saying? But if outside of the country, rather, as you can see, they like the fact that it's free from government intervention. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we need to be focusing on, so that we can control our own destination with our finances and our financial literacy and financial freedom. You know what I'm saying? Because I was also just reading a bunch of other things. That's what the KYC is. They got they ramping up KYC around here. This, that, and the third stuff. I'm not even gonna get into all that, but clearly you can see that they 25% like the fact that free from government. I agree. However, there are concerns for institutional investors who mark price volatility. Volatility. See, people make volatility sound like it's such a bad thing, but when the market becomes stable, when any investment becomes stable, then the money is already made. So therefore, you're going to have a stable amount of dividends or a growth within it. But when something is volatile, that's where the money is made. That's where. That's why if you bought Bitcoin 10 years ago at $10, see, it was volatile. 10 years later, oh my God, your net worth went up to something ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how many you want, because it's a volatile situation. Volatility allows for a maximum amount of growth. So don't be scared by volatility. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature. That's the nature of. And this is my opinion. This is not your financial advice. This is my opinion from me looking at markets and doing things myself. I don't mind volatility. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's either gonna go super up or it's gonna go to zero. And I ain't tripping on nothing going to zero, because that's what I play the game for. I play the game to win. At the end of the day, you had Hertz that's been what was Hertz? I think that's where you rent cars at. Whatever Hertz was, Hertz just went to zero. That was on a stabilized market. It went to zero. Bankruptcy, they done. So what's the difference? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you got Grayscale investment shows greater institutional growth. Grayscale is another place that's look, Grayscale actually popped up in the corner. This is another big institution place of investments. They got like they control billions of dollars in investment. You know what I'm saying? They are investment firm. If you don't know, Grayscale Investment has also provided a lot of information in the past few months that point to a greater institutional interest with customers buying Ethereum. Yes, they bought a ton of Ethereum. They've been buying a ton of Bitcoin, and they getting their oh, right there. I didn't even see that they said that Grayscale Bitcoin and Ethereum Trust have performed well as the firm reported its largest inflow in the first quarter of 2020, drawing in 30 million. The firm assets grew tenfold since the first quarter in 2019. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? They've been investing in Bitcoin, Ethereum Trust. They have performed well as the firm reported its largest inflow growth. So I'm just saying, man, don't let the naysayers trick you. Do your own due diligence, do your research, and figure it all out for your own self and make your own decision. Use your own mind to better yourself. That's what it's there for. You know what I'm saying? You do have a mind, and your mind is what connects you with the divine, and you should use that thing for your greater good. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. But the access management firm has doubled down on its crypto service, buying more Bitcoin than was mined since the last halving, and buying almost half of Ethereum in 2020. So once again, like I was saying, they have been buying tons of Ethereum and Bitcoin and Ethereum, whichever one you decide to put it first. But that's what they have been doing. You know what I'm saying? So do your own due diligence, do your research, make a decision. Y'all see what they saying. Y'all see where they headed. Oh, and I don't even got the I don't got the article up. I think I'm gonna drop a video on this one in a minute. I don't want this video to be too long. But yeah, the asset management firm has doubled down on its cryptocurrency service, buying more Bitcoin than was mined since the last halving and buying almost half of all Ethereum mined in 2020. I think it speaks for itself. Stay sane, be safe, don't let the world drive you crazy. I be messing up. Don't let the world drive you crazy. Don't let the world drive you insane. That's what I'm saying.